call today. We'll get started after this brief prayers to the spiritual masters. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Tarupyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. So let's see who all joined us. I have, let me see. Kiran Goyal joined us, Subodhini joined us, and I think those are the two newcomers. Anybody I'm missing?
Why Sukamala Mataji went down? She's not before me. No, Uttara, somebody. Garima.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
They're all joined.
Hare Krishna, Shraddha Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Danvat Pranam, Jai Shri.
Danvat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Okay, so the reading order that we have is Sukamal Mataji, Vindhyavali Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Kiran Khosla Mataji, Uttara Mataji, Subodhini Mataji, Kiran Goyal Mataji, Garima Mataji, and Jyoti Mataji.
Mataji, after Sukamala Mataji, he put Uttara.
Why Mataji?
After Sukamala
you recognize Uttara's voice also? Then why?
Only Sukamala Mataji, Varshana Mataji.
You stay after Sukamala Radha Mataji and that's it.
But who Uttara Mataji put it there after?
Where are you reading, Mataji?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm reading.
All right, good. Okay, let's get started then.
I'll take
no more confusion. Okay. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And let's see. I don't see my screen here. Okay, I have the reading text. I want to share. What else I want to share with you? Okay. Chapter 8 of Bhagavad-gita, Attaining the Supreme, is what needs to be shared also. Chapter 8, okay. And please tell me, what do you see?
I don't see anything. Now I see. Attaining the Supreme. 8th chapter.
Okay. All right, so we'll get started. Let's settle down.
Now I got my list.
Started with Sukumal Mataji. No speaking. Yeah, no speaking in between. That's the class rule. Okay. When we are doing the reading, everybody keeps silent. Okay. We get started with Sukumal Radha Mataji. Please get going with the first verse. And you are on mute.
Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the Self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me.
Who is the Lord of sacrifice, and how does he live in the body? O Madhusudana, and how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death?
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called adhyātma, the self. Action pertaining to the development of the material bodies of the living entities is called karma or fruitive activities.
Hare Krishna Ji. O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature, which is constantly changing, is called adhibhuta, the material manifestation, the universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and moon, is called adhideva, and by the Supreme Lord represented as the super soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Adhi-yagna, the Lord of sacrifice. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So just a few things here. The word demigods, the universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and moon, is called Adhi, not Deva. It is not Deva. It is not D-E-V-A.
Deva.
Daiva.
Daiva.
Yeah,
Deva.
A-I. Yeah. That
Deva.
one. Deva, right? And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the Supreme Soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Adhi. This is Yagya. Yagya. Yeah, not Yagna. It's not Yagna, because it is not N here. The N has got a tilde, so it becomes nasal there. Okay. Yeah. All right. Who's next?
Hare Krishna Mataji. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Hare Krishna, text 6. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Kiran, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, text 7. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Hare Krishna.
Garima Mataji can't
Garima cannot read. Yeah. Jyoti?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. He who meditates on me as Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me. Hare Krishna Ji.
One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this
My machine is stuck. Okay. Yeah.
material nature.
One who at the time of death fixes his live air between the eyebrows and by the strength of yoga with an undeviating mind engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Hare Krishna. Persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkar, and who are great sages in the renounced order, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
so let's look at the word here. What is this word?
Omkara.
Omkara.
Omkara, right? Not Omkar.
Omkara.
Omkara. Omkara.
Omkara.
There's a A at the end, right? And it's Sanskrit. So we pronounce every letter that is there. Okay. Okay. Who's coming up next?
The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga. Hare
So
Krishna.
this is fixing the way you read it, right? The meanings can change. So fixing the mind on the top of the heart and the life air at the top of the head, right? That is how we are fixing, and not fixing the mind, right?
Okay.
And the heart on the top of the head. It's not like that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Number 13. Who's going to read that?
Hare Krishna. After the
Oh
text
no, it's
13.
Uttara
Hare
okay.
Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead,
Af-
Uttara.
After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets.
Text 14. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service.
Text 15. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. Hare Krishna.
Text 60. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are the places of misery where repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to mayi abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night.
At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state, and therefore, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again.
Yeah. When you use the word therefore, it is the word therefore is meant to conclude or deduce something, right?
Thereafter,
So
I'm
the
sorry.
sun has risen. Yeah, the sun has risen. Therefore, there's
Thereafter,
light.
when the night
Yeah,
falls. I'm sorry.
yeah. Thereafter. So the word is thereafter.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Focus the eyes. Yeah.
At the beginning of Brahma's day, all
No,
living
not that one. Not that one. The next one.
19. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of a Brahma's night, are helplessly annihilated.
Yeah, they are helplessly annihilated. Okay, who's next? Read
Yet
properly.
there is another unmanifest nature, which is eternal and is transcendental to the manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. That which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as a supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode.
Text 22. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him. Hare Krishna.
O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain the Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery god in the light.
Fiery god.
Fiery god. In the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. Hare Krishna Ji.
The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet but again comes back.
According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns.
27. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion.
Hare Krishna Ji. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving clarity or
charity.
Giving charity or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, and what is the verse for today?
26.
26. Okay. So let's see 26. Shukla Krishne gati hete jagatah shashvate mate ekayatyana vrittim anyaya vartate punaha. Shukla Krishne gati hete jagatah shashvate mate ekaya yatyana vrittim anyaya vartate punaha. Shukla Krishna gati hete jagataha shashvate mate ekaya yatyana vrittim anyaya vartate punaha. Shukla, light. Krishna, and darkness. Gati, ways of passing. He, certainly. Ete, these two. Jagataha, of the material world. Shashvate, of the Vedas. Mate, in the opinion. Ekaya, by one. Yati, goes. Anavrittim, to no return. Anyaya, by the other. Avartate, comes back. Punaha, again. So what is no return?
Anavrittim.
Anavrittim. And what is coming back? Returning?
Avartate.
Avartate. Okay. So let's look at the translation. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world. One in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The same description of departure and return is quoted by Acharya Baldev Yudhyabhushan from the Chandogya Upanishad 5.10 to 3.5. Those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial are constantly going and coming. Actually, they do not attain ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender to Krishna. Okay. Very long purport.
Last few purports have been short, Mataji.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thoughts?
Who attains Krishna's abode never comes back.
Right. I would like to also emphasize, draw upon the comment that these last few times this has been very short.
Discussions and reflections.
The purport, no, discussion reflections, we never make them short.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the purports have been short. So you will also notice, you will note, and something to infer from that, right? When you see, is that your guru is, which in our case is Srila Prabhupada here, doing the translations, right? So the guru, we have to be watchful of where the guru is laying the emphasis. If Srila Prabhupada really wanted to talk about, right, that Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha and Uttarayan and Dakshinayan and all that, he would have elaborated that in the purport, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't. And it was good that you noticed that, right? But now we also have to find out the inner meaning of that. So teacher will speak enough for the student to understand. And so sometimes it's not good to go too much deeper into that, right? Because it's very confusing. Very, very confusing. So what was the question against which the answer is being given? Because we were working on the structure also, right? Of the chapter? No?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was the structure that we created? Let's see.
Yeah.
Right? So we had talked about 8. He was asking questions, right?
Yes.
And the answers came in verse. Question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, right?
Yes.
So he had asked 7 or 8 questions, depending on which way you want to count them. So here we go. Let's look at BG 8. You say that, and you will immediately get to chapter 8. Okay. So here Krishna, he was asking, "Oh my Lord, O Supreme Prince, what is Brahman? What is the self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. Who is the Lord of sacrifice? And how does he live in the body? O Madhusudana. And how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death?" So something to keep in mind over here is that Arjun has asked questions. The first few questions are okay. Everybody can, relate to those questions. But the last question, how can one remember you at the time of death, is a question that we try to avoid. And that is a question that we really need to,
No.
you really need to know. And it's so funny that we keep on investing our energies in the material world over and over and again, right? For example, if a man is diagnosed with cancer and he knows he's going to die, married man, grahastha, and so what he starts doing is he'll start making sure my papers are right, my wife doesn't have to suffer after I die, right? So it's like, and then somebody will ask, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm taking care, I'm making sure, right? I'm making sure that my family lives happily in this material world. Is that going to happen? This material world is a place of misery.
Okay.
Krishna is emphasizing that, right? So the funny thing is that we spend so much of time, life, energy in making sure or taking care of all these arrangements. But the one thing that the question to ask that married man, that man who's about to die, is that, what about you? What have you done about you are dying?
Yes.
What arrangements have you made about your next life? Right? And Parishad Maharaj was very lucky that he was told that you're going to die in 7 days. We don't even know whether we're going to die in 7 minutes, 7 hours, 7 days, 7 months, 7 years, 70 years. We don't know, right? And yet we are so careless. He had 7 days, he was a king, but still he left everything, sat down, heard the Srimad Bhagavatam. But we don't do that. In general, people don't do that, right? We keep on investing in the material world, which is very cruel. Right? Which is very, very cruel. Devi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mamevaya prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So Krishna says that, right? Chapter 7.
But Mataji, why did you say avoid? Why do we avoid the last part of that question?
Generally, people avoid, not you, not us, because our literatures talk about that only. They say that this is a temporary place. Yeah.
So why
I'm talking in general about. I'm talking
Oh.
in general about the world. Like you go to a party and say, "Okay, now let's talk about death." Right? I mean, when there is death in the family, when there is a death in the family, or they know some person that, people still refuse to talk about that.
Yes.
Right?
Because
So
they are in denial then, right?
Yes, they are in denial. And that is not where we should be. We should not be denying that. Death is the only thing which has 100% success rate.
Sure.
Right? But we keep on investing again and again in the wrong thing. For example, there are people who invest in the stock market. So they invest in some company, XYZ. And they are constantly reading, watching TV episodes, YouTube, this and that, about the investment. Where did I put my money? What about this company? What are the other political factors that can influence the stock value of the company where I invested my money? They will do all that, right? And then they get the news that, it is not good news for the family, for the company. And so when they realize it's not the good news for the company, they will start, which means the stock is going to fall down. They will start selling the stock, right? They start selling the stock and they'll keep the money. Oh my goodness, this is becoming a stock class instead of Bhagavad-gita class. they will withdraw the money so that it doesn't, right? And afterwards, when the company crashes, these people are still safe, or the money is safe because they withdrew the money. Okay? So, drawing the parallel to the stock exchange, where you should not be investing in a company that's going to perish. We should also not be investing too much into the material world because it perishes. Right? It perishes. Now, a person who invests into the stock market had a need of increasing the money. That is why he went to the stock market, for no other reason, right? That's the only reason people go. And so he wanted to increase the money, but he found that the atmosphere is not correct. So he took out the money. The money is with him, and now the money is not going to grow. Right? So now he has to invest it again somewhere, in some other company or some other venture, some business, some other source of multiplying your money. Right? Similarly, what are we trying to do in this material world? We are trying to look for happiness, right? And enjoyment. And we invest in here and there. There are warning signs that this company is going to crash. And so if you withdraw, the parallel is that you withdrew from there, and so the cash is with you. But for the cash to increase, you have to invest it someplace else. And so similarly for us, when we are trying to look for happiness in this material world, then what we have to do is do your investments someplace else. Right? So Vishaya vinivartante. Nirharasya dehina. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. So when you control your senses and you practice certain things, basically devotional service, then you will attain a higher taste. And when you attain a higher taste, the lower taste will automatically go away. Right? So the focus, our focus should be that. There are people who have written wills that, after I die, my body should be frozen so that if I ever come back to life, the body will be there. I want to have the same body. And why would you want to have the same body? You're a 90-year-old man, you die, and you want that body to be preserved. And when you come back, you want to get a body of a 90-year-old man. What kind of an investment is that?
This
Right?
is craziness.
Right? And this is how we do. This is how we live. People construct monuments over the dead body. And so this verse, Shukla Krishna gati hiyate jagata shashvate mate ekaya yati anavrittam anya avartate punaha. So here Krishna is saying, when there is one path of light and there's another one, path of darkness. When you take to one path, you don't return. When you take another path, you return, right? This means that the two paths that we took are taking you to two different destinations. You agree?
Yes.
Okay.
One is the material and one is to Krishna.
Right.
Spiritual.
Okay, right? One is to spiritual. So now the thing we have to keep in mind here is that a lot of people you hear out there saying, all paths lead to Krishna.
Mm.
Hear what Krishna is saying? Depending on the path that you choose, you will have a different destination. Right? That's what he's saying in today's verse. So that is what we have to be very careful of. Very, very careful of. There are people telling you so many different kinds of things, but you have to be mindful.
How can we choose anything, Mataji? When we are
Of course you
dying,
can choose.
Huh?
You can choose.
No. See, I think that I want to die and don't want to come back, okay? But it's not in my hands. Krishna has to take care of that.
Yeah, but
When
yogis can leave the body at a specific time, right? The yogis have the power. That's what was mentioned in the previous verses. We
How
did 2
will I
verses there.
have power when I'm leaving
You
body?
were not there. You were not there, Mataji, yesterday, last class. We talked about that. We talked about that, yeah. So the yogis have got those powers that they can leave the body.
Yeah, yogis have, but not me as a normal.
He's talking about yogi only. Krishna is talking about yogis only, right? Yeah. So he's talking about yogis. And right, so we have to keep that in mind, that no loose talks like, oh, any path is going to take us there. This is loose talk. This is serious business. And if you are if we sit down and do our planning of life, what my career is going to be after 5 years, what I should have, where I should invest and all that, this is serious thinking, right? We sit down. We don't just sit on the sofa of TV running and all that, and or in a group during a party, I'm sitting and I'm planning my life. We don't do that. It is serious business, right? So that we take so seriously, we should take this thing of life after that even more seriously, right? Because the die gets cast. Where you're going to go in the next life gets cast in this life itself. Right?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mataji, after quite a long period of lifetime in this life, when one comes to Krishna consciousness and understands that, yes, this is the right path and I should walk on that. I know you told several times that all your sins, everything is washed away once you take the holy name of the Lord, chant the holy name of the Lord. But still, I don't know that confidence doesn't come in my heart that I'm not totally you see, free from not doing the right thing, for doing the right things. Must have done many mistakes. So how will Krishna excuse me? So I have left in his hand, and that if it will be his mercy, he will take me. I'm trying my level best, but it is his mercy. If he feels that I am good enough to go to his abode, then he will take me. Otherwise, according to Shastras, he will surely put me in some Brahmana's family or somewhere where I can continue my spiritual life. So that kind of a feeling comes, but I always feel I'm not good enough to go back home, back to Godhead.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
What is the other feeling that you can have, the opposite?
Overconfidence that you're never going to come back.
Yeah, I'm going back to Godhead and you all are going to stay behind.
Stay here, yeah.
So it's good to have that fear or that feeling.
Thank you.
And so surrendering to Krishna is a difficult thing. We don't do full surrender to Krishna. Right? Because if you surrender to Krishna, if you're saying, I have left it to Krishna, then that discussion itself doesn't arise, right? What is there to discuss, right? Because the doubt keeps on coming. There is doubt. There is intelligence.
Mataji, when we chant in the morning, many a times, you see, one feels that I'm just, because I am being told by my Gurudev that I have to do 16 rounds, so I'm doing it. And many a times I feel that feeling is not there for Krishna. I'm just doing it because I have to do it. That feeling comes, Mataji,
that's fine.
I don't have that love for him.
That's okay. That's okay. It's the beginning. It's the beginning. So I once read there's a quote somebody said that people drive from the east coast of America to the west coast, right? It takes them a couple of days to drive. People drive from east coast to west coast on the freeways, right? So freeway is something that takes you from one place to another place without giving you an opportunity to see what was on the road.
Yeah. No traffic.
Right? Because you're going very fast and that you have no time to turn your face and look at the scenery, right? Otherwise you'll have an accident. So in bhakti also, we try to achieve a destination, right? I want to go to Golok Vrindavan. What will you do in Golok Vrindavan? Bhakti only. That you're doing here also, right? So bhakti, the goal of bhakti is bhakti. Nothing new or different is bhakti is bhakti. After doing bhakti, what is your aim? Bhakti. That's what you want to do, right? So when the aim is like that to do bhakti, then it really doesn't matter where you're performing the bhakti.
Whether here or there.
Do you feel anything wrong here while you're doing bhakti? Aren't you enjoying life?
No, Mataji. I'm very happy. I'm very.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's just a mind thing that I will go to some other place. Bhakti is bhakti. And the goal of bhakti is bhakti.
Goal of bhakti is bhakti. Yes.
Goal of bhakti is bhakti. So when you know that goal of bhakti is bhakti, then it's fine. Even if I'm not good enough, I'm still doing bhakti and I'm enjoying it myself. Yes, fine. I have not met the final goal, but in your journey towards going to Krishna, enjoy the journey also.
You're on right path.
Don't be like a freeway, like you go from one place to another place without even knowing that there were beautiful hills, there was beautiful buildings, beautiful parks on the way, because we were so focused on the destination. Enjoy bhakti for itself, right? And try to be happy in devotional service. It's very important to do that.
And Mataji, we are not going on the freeway and we have taken the other route, but doing the bhakti, there will be many obstacles also on the way. So that sometimes, you see, gives so much, it may give too much of pain, and then a person may get deviated from the path. So won't that be obstruction in life, in the way of
obstruction? Yeah, it's an obstruction. So going back again to your statement earlier where you were saying that, I'm doing this and will I go, or here, I'm having so much of pain. So is really Krishna is there or not, right? Otherwise, why am I suffering so much and things like that? So from where are all these thoughts coming? They're coming from your mind, right? And intelligence is analyzing and giving votes to this one or that one, like that, right? So when we sit alone with our mind, then this is what happens. So if you want to, and the faith will become loose, right? Komal Shraddha, soft. So we have to go to Nishtha stage where the Shraddha becomes faith becomes very strong. So how is your faith become strong? Through processes, right? How is it becoming strong? Adav Shraddha, in the beginning there is Shraddha very komal, right? Adav Shraddha tatha sadhu sangha tatha bhajana kriya tatha anartha nivarti. Anartha nivarti is a very long duration. Arthas are going to be cleansed out of the body. So these are mechanisms. There are processes and practices in place, like chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, reading of the Bhagavatam, going to a holy place, right? And then what was that? Association of devotees. That is very, very important. Okay? Why? Because if you're lacking in faith, you will get it when you're watching others in, how much faith they have in God. Okay? On our own, we won't be able to. On our own, we won't be able to do it because the mind is there, right? On our own, we can we can do certain things. Right? So sometimes it happens also when you are sick, we can do self-medication, but then they say no, go to a doctor, right? And so you have taken the steps. You have gone to the doctor. Who's your doctor?
My doctor is my Guru Maharaj, my Shraddha Mataji.
There you go. So your doctor is your Guru Maharaj, right? So you took a Guru, right? You took a Guru. So you're taking all the right steps, right? And it takes time. It takes time. And that is why knowing that it is going to take time, right? For example, whenever we go on a long journey, remember the days when Delhi to Bombay was a 2-day ride on the train, right? So what would we do on the way? Like, let me take a novel. I will read the novel on the way. Or let me take some matri and puri and I will enjoy on the way, right? So knowing that the way is the journey is a long journey, enjoy the journey. Otherwise, you'll always have this dissatisfaction that I didn't reach the destination. I didn't reach the destination. What are you going to do in the destination? Same thing. Bhakti. Right? I mean, we see that the material, and you are a classic example of that, Prashana Mataji. We say the body gives you grief, right? A body gives you pain. Yeah. And when the body gives you pain, if the body gives me pain, I don't want this body, right? That's what we think. And it's okay also to think like that and get a transcendental body. However, when you're doing devotional service, in your case, distributing books, did you think twice that your knees were hurting?
No, Mataji. You think that let me give one more book.
One more book. See? So that's what I'm saying, that when you are doing really devotional service, then other things don't, that is, you are enjoying the journey at that time. When you forgot that you had pain in your knee. You see my point?
Yes.
Don't try to get a knee which doesn't pain. That there is no such knee in this world, guaranteed. That doesn't pain. If you're a small child or a big or an athlete or a not athlete, the knees hurt, right? But the thing is that you got a higher taste, you got a higher focus, you got a bigger thing that all these small things just don't matter, right? There are dancers who dance. The feet hurt, so many times we hear about some nice shot, dance shot in a Bollywood movie, and they say, oh, it was such a difficult shot, but the director said that you have to do the whole dance in one sequence. I don't want to waste camera footage. And so the actors will dance, and the feet are hurting, the body is hurting, but they did it. And the song is a hit, and so higher aim, higher purpose. In their case, their aim was different. In our case, our aim is different. Our aim is to serve Krishna in any way, shape, or form that we have. Right? There's a very famous story of Chitraketu, right? That same Chitraketu who had lost his son, right? The king. So then afterwards, when he gets the mantra and all that, he becomes a devotee. And then one day, while he's flying in an aeroplane, he's flying over Kailash, Mount Kailash, and he says, Shiva is giving lecture to his Gana and Krishna Katha, and Parvati is sitting on his laps. Now, nowhere do we see something like that happening, right? So he found it very hilarious and he started laughing. And Parvati looked up and she was angry and she cursed him, right, to be born as a demon. And then he comes down and he accepts the curse, that he apologizes, but accepts the curse that she has given and says, okay, I'll go into that body. And then there is a conversation that happens between Shivji and Parvati, because Parvati is bewildered by this behavior. How could he do that, not protest or whatever kind? And, how can a person of caliber of Chitraketu agree to be born as a demon? Right? And there he says, Vasudeva parasarve na kutaschina bhavyati swarg apavarga narkeshu apitulyartha darshina. So those who are surrendered to the Lord, for them, narak or swarg, it is just the same thing.
Yes, Mataji.
Right? So people forget their bodily feeling because focus is different. I remember I had a friend, who was not having good relationship with her husband. There were some skirmishes happening in the marriage, and theirs was a love marriage, and they were from different parts of India. So anyway, so this boy, they met at college or some work, somehow. Anyway, they met, and this boy really wanted to marry this girl, and he was praying to the demigods, and wanting this girl and this girl only, and he was scared that his parents will, complain because he was from the south and girl was from the extreme north. And then he prayed for 3 days with a lamp in his hand, a ghee lamp, with the earthenware lamp, diya in his hand. And whole night, whole day, for 3 days, he prayed, I want to marry this girl. And so much so that his hands burned because the wick is there, right? But he didn't stop. Why? For him, there was a higher goal, right? Aim. So in our case, the aim is how can we serve Krishna? How can we serve Krishna? And you were doing that by distributing Krishna's books, right? Which Krishna wanted to distribute. So yeah, so that's something to keep that in mind. And here, in the previous 2 verses we talked about, right? Agni Jyoti Aha Shukla Sharmasa Uttarayanam, right? And then Dhuma Ratro Tatha Krishna. So Chanamasha Dakshinayana. So people are making so much of endeavor to come here, go there, do this, not do that. I just want to manage, arrange, and I want to go, to my destination, my cherished destination. But here, Krishna is telling, he's laying down the principles, and he's saying that, one, if you indulge and engage too much in the material world, then you are going to come back. However, if you invest in transcendental things, then you will not come back. So he's establishing the principle, okay? Attachment to matter, come back to matter. Attachment to spiritual, get out of this cycle, go to the spiritual. And so he just told the principle. He just laid down the basic principle, right? If you get attached to matter, then you will come back again to the matter. Now, going into the transcendental, right? He has just, in this verse, he just stopped there, going into the transcendental. But we know that in the transcendental also, there are 2, right? Can be a 2-stop journey, or you could just go halfway, right? To the Brahma Jyoti. And then after a long time, you might come back. So the real nivartate is when you go to Krishna. So you'll find, you can find a planet. Brahmajyoti sometimes is also referred to as a planet. So you can go to that planet of Brahmajyoti, right? Or you go to Golok Vrindavan, like that, right? Or to the Vaikuntha planets. So here he has just put down the basics there, right? And he's telling that invest your time, your attention, everything in me. Matchitta, Madgata, Prana, right? Those who understand that Krishna is everything, right? Yeah. So our focus here, this particular verse, and then we also know, let's look at the colophon. I think I had brought up the colophon for this somewhere. Yeah, let me share the screen. Colophon is the last 2 lines, right? Which we repeat after every chapter of Bhagavad-gita. So colophons for Bhagavad-gita, chapter 8 are Om Tat Iti Shrimad Bhagavad-gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma-vidyayam Yog Shastre
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
Akshar Brahma Yoga / Tarak Brahma Yogo Nama Ashtamo Adhyāya. Right? I want to lay emphasis on the Tarak Brahma Yoga word, right? Akshar Brahma is also fine, but Tarak is more meaningful in the context of what I'm talking here.
Mataji, this last part I didn't get. What is read after the completion of chapter? What is this? Please, can you elaborate it? I'm not aware of it.
Mataji, can you kindly post this?
It is on nityasankirtan.com, the website.
Nityasankirtan.com. Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. So what happens is, Mataji, colophons are some lines that are written at the end of any any composition, which tell you either about the composition or which tell you about, in general, they tell you about the composition. For example, hold on.
Is it like contents?
No, it is not.
No,
It's
not
not
contents.
It is
I'm just trying to
repeated.
bring in, yeah.
It is repeated after every day.
No, not that also. Not that also. Hold on. Let me go with that. I'm forgetting the name. Gaurangera Dhutipada. Gaurangera Dhutipada. That's a very famous song, and that will have lyrics. Okay, song, right? So he's glorifying the lotus feet of, right? Yeah. So here we see he's glorifying his lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he says, Gaura Perma Rasanave, Se Tarange Jeba Dube, Se Radha Madhava Antaranga, Griheva Bane Be Thake, Ya Ha Gauranga Bole Dhake, Narottama Mange Tara Sangha. Right? So he has glorified that, but in the last line, what is he saying? What is written here? Narottama Mange Tara Sangha. Right? And if you want to see who's the author of this song, the author is
Narottam
Das Thakur, right? So
I
line,
got it now. Yes.
Yeah. So that line is the colophon because it is telling you, about the song. What does it tell you about the song? The author, right? Kahat Kabir suno bhai sadho, like that, right? Yasuradas tab bihasi jashoda, like that, right? So those are the lines that we use. Similarly, in the Bhagavad-gita, at the end of Bhagavad-gita, every chapter, there is this colophon, which will tell you about the content. So here it is saying, Om Tat Sati, Shrimad Bhagavad-gita Su, Upanishadsu, right? So Bhagavad-gita, which is also known as the Upanishadsu, Brahma-vidyayam, which talks about gives you the Brahma-vidya, means spiritual knowledge. Brahma-vidyayam, Yoga Shastre, which is also telling you about how to connect with Supreme.
Krishna Arjuna Samvade.
Krishna Arjuna Samvade, which is, it's a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. And what is in that dialogue? What is the topic of the dialogue? Is Tarak Brahma Yoga. Tarak Brahma Yoga Nama Ashtamo Adhyāya. So this is the 8th chapter named as Tarak Brahma. So in this chapter, and if you look at the English for this, let me bring in Vedabase here. What is the name of the chapter here in English?
Emblems or logos, that something like that.
No.
Attaining the Supreme.
It is obtaining the Supreme, right? That's the name of the chapter number 8. And now if you go back and see in the colophon, the colophon is saying Tarak Brahma Yoga, right? Tarak Brahma. So Brahma here is the Supreme Lord, right? Supreme Lord. Tarak means Tarna. Tarna means to transcend, par karna. So this is a ocean of material world. And to cross, tar karna, par karna, tar karna, right? Tarak. So Tarak Brahma Yoga. So that Supreme who helps you cross this material ocean. Right? That Supreme Lord who helps you cross this material ocean, yoga. It is talking about how to connect with him or how to attain him. This is what this chapter is about. You see, this chapter is not about 311 trillion, 40 billion is the lifelong life of Brahma, and I should remember that down to the 12th digit or whatever it is. This chapter is about Krishna. How do I connect to Krishna? Right? And that is what Arjuna had asked in this question also, right? He had asked that question, that how can one know you with a capital Y? Right? How can one know you at the time of death? And he's answering. And in order to answer that question, and how can one come to know him at the time of death, Krishna has spoken all this thing, right? And when we know Krishna at the time of death, we don't come back. So now, in order for you to make an investment or invest your energies into going back to Godhead, he's telling you this world is a miserable place. If you focus on yoga and try to go, but you can come back. He's telling you all that. Why? Because he's laying the ground there for Taraka Brahma Yoga. How to get connected with the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, this material world is a very, very cruel place. I remember once I was watching many years ago, when I had the time to watch the Discovery Channel or watch television for that matter. So there was a person, they were in Africa and they were studying the wildlife and wild animals, and one of them was on a lion. So what they do is they will be in the jungle for tens of years, dedicated their life in the pursuit of understanding lions. So they had a small, lady cub, and they put some, rings and all that, so they know the whereabouts, and then they follow and go and watch and take pictures and all that. So they are taking the picture. So this little female cub grows into a lioness, gets married, if there is a marriage, right? And then she has a child. And then they show how the mother is loving the child, how much she's taking care of the child, fighting with elephants, and all that happens, all that is shown there, right? And then she see that the child is growing up. So they had given some names, maybe Lakshmi or Rani. I remember one name, Rani. I don't know which was it. I think the daughter was Rani. And so then they show the daughter has grown up, has become, and the mother is becoming old. So old, when you become old, you cannot prey on animals, right? See, here at least as in a human body, at least, there is canned food. You can eat that if you can't cook. But their animals have to, they will die of hunger if you can't pray. Right? So anyway, so the Rani, who is the younger one, she prays and there's a deer, she kills a deer and she's eating it. And the mother is hungry, the mother comes there to eat. And Rani growls at her mother. This is material world. So Krishna is saying, don't invest too much in this material world. Right? And that's what throughout he's telling. He's telling you it's a miserable world. And he's telling that if you keep on coming back, 411 trillion, 40 billion, 311 trillion, 40 billion times, you could be doing that. He's also telling you it's a very long duration if you invest in Maya and try to get friendly with Maya. That is the essence of this chapter. Structure apart, this apart. And it's very confusing. Did you see that? Shukra Krishna gati hyete. Jagta shashvate mate. Right? So he's saying that when the sun is in Uttarayan, Shukla Paksha, during the daytime, okay, so it is very confusing. So if the sun is in the Shukla Paksha, if the sun is in the Uttarayan, then if I die at that time, then I'll go. Oh, but what when the sun is in Uttarayan and then, but there is night here. And then, okay, if it's not night, if it's daytime, oh, but what about the moon? The moon is in the waning part of the moon. So it is very confusing. And Prabhupada does not talk too much about it in this verse. He just refers to Baldev Vidyabhushan commentary and all that. And these acharyas go very deep down. And some places even says that, you know, Prabhupada uses the word deities, right? Under the influence of the deity of fire, right? Like that deity of light. So this Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, some people also, somewhere you'll also read that these are not actually, sun is moving like that in the northern hemisphere, and when the sun is in the southern hemisphere. That is one interpretation. The other interpretation is that no, actually Uttarayan and Dakshinayan are planets by themselves. And in those planets, the deities reside which control the passing away of a person in that part, in that part. So now the whole equation is shifted. Right now you're talking about Uttarayan and Dakshinayan as planets, and then now the night or the night or the day is in that planet or in my planet. So you want to do all that? Better not. Take to Bhakti Yoga. Right? Ultimately, Nati Shriti Parthajanan Yogi Muhyati Kaschana Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. Right? He says that a yogi is not impacted by these things. A true yogi who is focusing on Krishna. So the word yoga has got multiple meanings. Are you a mystic yoga? Are you a Gyan yogi? Are you a karma yogi? Are you a bhakti yogi? Like that. Uttara, yeah. Uttara has raised her hand. Yeah. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hey, Krishna Mataji. So when we read these verses and in the translation for a mystic yogi like that, it started and the translations are coming. And how do we understand like, okay, so these are only for mystic yogis, not for us. Like when we just follow Guru's instructions.
Exactly. That is why you need a spiritual master to explain that to you, right? And we have taken masters throughout our life, right? We went to kindergarten, we had a teacher or teachers. First grade, second grade, third grade, all the way up to graduation, we had teachers to teach us material world. So how come we don't need a teacher for teaching us about the spiritual? Right? We need that, right? And also depending on the time, place, and circumstance and your mood, also the Guru will give you the right instructions.
So not all verses in Bhagavad-gita is for like each and every person. It is
exactly.
Like,
yes.
okay.
Bhagavad-gita is spoken for everybody. It is meant for everybody. But to everybody, Krishna is saying, come to me. Come to me, come to me, come to me. Well, whether he's talking about Dhyana Yoga in chapter 6, at the end, what he says, Yoginam api sarvesham matkaten antaratma. Among all the yogis, those who surrender to me are the best. Now here again, he's saying, Sukla Krishna gati hete jagta shasvate mate, right? Ekayati. But nati shriti parthajanan, yogi muhyati kachana. The true yogi, bhakti yogi does not. Right? Tasmat, like that. So at the end of every chapter, almost he's saying that, do devotional service to me, do devotional service to me. And this is like, this is Krishna's style. Because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can state things and he can dictate, and whatever he's dictating is not wrong, actually. Like that.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Actually,
Mataji.
it becomes so clear that he is telling himself that I'm there and you come to me. why should we wander here and there, you see, and run after anybody?
So it is one thing is to intellectually understand something, and the second is to implement it, right? So gyan, there is gyan and there is vigyan. So sometimes gyan and vigyan are also explained as gyan is you got the knowledge, vigyan is when you're able to implement it in your life, right? And that requires practice, sadhana. So we are all sadhana bhaktas, we are practicing it. So despite so many things, like one of the offenses in chanting of the holy names of the Lord, right? What are the 10 offenses? I think it's a good time for us to revise that. Right? As a team, we can look at that.
It will
That was a question in the Nectar of Devotion exam, Mataji.
To instruct non-devotees about Harinam. Blaspheme the devotees. Blaspheme the devotees. Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva's name. Be same, similar.
Yeah. So after 2 or 3, we stopped, right? So we have to keep on going and remembering, because otherwise our mind goes here and there, right? Okay. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated, you said that, devotees that have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu, which is what today's verse is saying. One path will take you there, one path will take you there. Today's verse connects very well with the second one, because people consider the same. Kuch bhi kar lo, ultimately to Bhagwan ke paas jayenge. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master, Guru Abhyagya. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance of the Vedic version. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination, Hari Namni Kalpanam, right? To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord, right? To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. You said that, I heard that answer. Now look at the 10th one. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Even after understanding it, we are still doing it, because there's difference between gyan and vigyan, knowledge and practicing the knowledge. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. And sometimes people make that as the 11th offense, right? It is also an inattentive chanting as the 11th offense. So it is nothing to be to think that you are the only one who is singled out, Varshana Mataji, right? Everybody is in that state, and the reason for that is that Bahunam Janmanam Ante. After so many, we have started this, right? Bhajana Kriya, formalizing it, and so it'll take some time, right, for the samskaras to go away.
But it takes very long time.
But are you not enjoying that time? That is the question.
What did you just say, Mataji?
Are you not enjoying the time?
Oh, yeah.
I'm enjoying the time.
That's it. Then why complain? Why complain? If you're enjoying some time, you should say more of it. Give me more of it, right? That is where the difference is.
Mataji, you are taking the steps, but you really
we are
feel
thinking
like
happiness is somewhere there. Somewhere there, right? When I go to Golok Vrindavana, there I will get happiness.
Mother, you are taking the steps, but you are not reaching the roof.
Yes, you're taking the step, not reaching them, but why are you focused on the roof? Taking the steps itself was such a pleasant task. Why do you want to go to the roof?
Keep taking the steps.
Keep taking the steps. Enjoy every
One day
step.
or other we will reach the roof.
There you go. On that happy note, we'll call it a day on this call.
Oh, so sad. It's over.
So we'll keep on.
Mataji, Uttara is a very, very sincere person.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very sincere girl.
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि
Lord Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji.